Hi, my name is Koku with blackfilm.com, and I'm here with Dijon Talton, executive producer of the popular all-black television series Carte. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. So, Dijon, people know you in just depending on where, right, the time, the hour, people know you in very, very different capacities, right? So, they may know you as a singer, as a dancer, as an actor, so just so many things. And I think it's very interesting that now we're getting to know you as an executive producer. So, what made you decide to wear this hat right now? And has this always been the thing?
I think been one of them for sure. I think that working with like Ava Duvernay, Anthony Hemingway, Ryan Murphy, Lena Waithe, they were just such giving filmmakers. They were also young and black and fucking killing it. So I think they inspired me and gave me kind of like permission to do the same. So that's when I knew I really wanted to focus on being a director, and then an EP kind of comes with that. So I think I kind of like fell into it, to be honest. It kind of like found and chose me.
And when you talk about an EP or a showrunner, like what exactly is that? Like as a talent, as a skill, what do you have to do? What do you do, right?
So a showrunner specifically is the person who like leads the show both business and creatively, which means they hire everybody, which means they keep continuity in the creative, which means they decide the actual direction of the creative. It's pretty much like the business boss. In my situation, it's kind of interesting too, because I'm also the director, which is the complete opposite, which means that I actually do execute the creative. And usually those two are like on opposite sides, the business and the creative.
And they could be fighting.
They're usually fighting.
Okay.
Well, because one is like, I want a crane. You know, like, we can't afford a crane. You know, like, you have 5 minutes. I want 5 more shots. You know,
right.
They're literally juxtaposition. So it's kind of like, it's a blessing, though, to be able to really from start to finish create the show that I want to make. It just comes with a lot, of course.
And I've actually spoken with Bree, the creator. She was a lot of fun,
Yeah.
And it's interesting because with her, she came from a PR background, so her background was much more on the corporate side, but she always had that creative leans as well. I want to know how you and Bree actually how did this relationship start?
So I actually met with Bree about doing some PR for some projects that I was
right. She's a PR person.
Yeah. So she had worked on James Bland's show Giants, and they had like won some Emmys and had a great campaign. And we were meeting about that, and then she told me, she's like, "Yo, I have this script." And I was like, "Okay." You know,
like everybody does. It's like everybody raps.
Everybody does. That's just
kind of my mixtape. Okay.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I know. Yeah. She's like, "I'm gonna send it to you." And I was like, "Yeah, send it to me for sure." It was over the holiday. She kept hitting me and was like, "Yo, did you read it?" And I was like, "Not yet, but I'm gonna read it." And then I actually put it on my calendar, like read it, because I was talking to her about other things. So I couldn't like it was like I could avoid her, about like, no, I didn't read it. So she read it. God bless you.
Thank you.
And really gravitated to the story, and to be transparent, was in a bad relationship at the time. And Mahogany was going through a "why are you in this fucking relationship" kind of moment. Kind of moment. And I was too, So I was like, oh my God, like, how did I end up here? So it was kind of shining a light on me knowing better and being raised for better, but like doing what I guess my flesh wanted to do anyway. Which it made me feel like I wanted to be a part of the project. So then I hit her back and I'm like, yo, it's dope. And I ended up directing and executive producing the pilot. From there, of course, went and sold it, developed it, all that kind of stuff. But it was like, again, like kind of like happened by accident, to be completely honest.
But then it's like you've been there from the beginning. But yeah. I credited Bree too, because I was like, Bree, you have a hell of a talent with how you like cultivate and manage relationships, because she will make you feel like the most special person in the room. And I know with PR, like they've got to make sure that they're like good with everybody, and she does. Sure. I'm telling you, like, I don't even know how her mind works, but she can do all these things at one time. But you absolutely feel like when she's contacting you, and it feels good. And then she can. I can barely remember what I did yesterday, but she remembers everything. Yeah, you know what I mean? She remembers everything about you, and will always come back to that. So it's like, when she tells me to check in or tap in, I'm always present and aware. So that's really cool, So we know you got cousin Meagan over there, right? Meagan Good is his cousin. So but you're actually really truly close cousins, and not just happens to be a cousin.
No, we're best friends. Yeah, we're best friends.
Oh, like, cool. Literally. I want to talk about is that your house?
Yeah.
Oh, must be nice. I was like, oh, okay. Where are we at? Oh, this ain't no Airbnb. This is just home.
Yeah. No.
Oh, I love it. I love it a lot. Okay, so as I was saying before, okay, so this is great. So Meagan Good is your cousin, but she's also your best friend. But what's interesting is that, when you have let's say a so-called connect like that, right? I mean, of course we can all be, everybody, could be related to somebody. Everybody knows somebody famous or important in whatever respect. Is it something where like you feel like what challenges or do you place upon yourself when you present a project to her? Because how honest can she be? Is she like, I don't like this, I do like this? Like, what kind of conversation do you guys have? And when do you ever feel like it's the right time to say, hey, Meagan, I think this is this project here, you should try to get behind it? Like, how does it work? Like, especially with respect to this project in particular.
I think it probably can be overly honest. Like, we're probably way more honest than anyone else is because it's your family. You can be like, that sucks, and they're not gonna love you any less, right? They're not gonna not talk to you. You don't have that option, right? So it's kind of like, I think that makes it. I think because of that, we have such honest conversations that you wouldn't with a business partner, because now, like if she doesn't want to do something because of this reason, like I'm also empathetic to that reason, whereas a business partner wouldn't be, and vice versa. I think that at this point we do a lot of things together, like a lot of projects together.
Good.
So I think we kind of also just know how to balance each other out. We know our roles. Good. We know what we're good at. We know what each of us brings to the table. So I think it makes it easier. I wouldn't work with all my family, I'm not gonna lie. But her more specifically, this show being about originally about young Black women.
Yes.
It being LA based and us both being from there, and it being in a way kind of a cautionary tale, because you brought up Bree. Originally this was kind of based off of her story of actively choosing to be a side chick, but now she's married. So it isn't a this is the right thing to do story. It's like this is a glimpse into this time of my life story. So with Meagan, she's had that, and as a male filmmaker, even when we were doing the original pilot, we were surrounded by women. Like most of these were women. So I think that's so important in telling a woman-centered story, to have that authentic, yes, our show now has a lot of men. I think there's actually more men on the show than there isn't, but they're actually all like love interests. So in that place, I feel like in the writer's room, I'm always like, we need men. Because a lot of times, like even in season 1, no shade to the women, but they'll have a viewpoint that I'm like, no, that ain't it. And they'd be like, yeah, it is. He has to die. It's like, no, he doesn't have to die. He cheats on you, but like he doesn't have to die. Like that's not how this works.
We could have kept him around a couple more episodes.
Yeah, I know that's how you want it to end, but that's not how it really ends in real life.
It's not realistic. Yeah.
So I think that viewpoint, is so important, and being able to do it with my cousin, my best friend, is a blessing. She's just like my biggest cheerleader, and I'm hers. So
I love that. And let me tell you something too. Like what I like about this show, and I told Bree the same thing, is I just love how dynamic the characters are, and how you aren't willing to take risks or even just explore in terms of relationships. Everything is not just like guy likes girl or girl likes guy. We are talking about relationships where we're talking about people across the spectrum. We're talking about queer individuals, and we're not making a mockery out of people being queer, right? And we're also talking about different, like, let's just say flavors in terms of what we like to do, like sexually, things like that, like things that we don't typically discuss on television. But even if you're injecting humor in it, but you're also being very serious, like it's not like, oh my God, like look, they got the gay guys kissing or the gay girls. Like it's not like that. And go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's kind of the point. I think that I was, talking to somebody and they were like asking like, how do you guys keep it authentic? I think someone's represented in the room. Across the board. But also, you might not want to see gay guys kissing. You might not want to be in a polyamorous relationship. You might have been more of a Shira. But now at the end of watching the show, God willing, we humanize these people that you thought were stereotypes. And you thought they had to just fall into this box. They had to be the worst thing ever. Like Rain and Z are actually the most healthy relationship on the show. Season 1, they're the only ones that didn't have sex. They're the only ones who didn't go through a huge trauma. So it's like, hopefully we're not changing your mind, but at least we're opening you up to see these people as humans. So when you encounter them in real life, you treat them as such.
I thought what was interesting, the theme, because a lot of these topics, like they tend to be like these really, I mean, in some cases like gender wars, divisive topics, and so forth on the internet, and you guys bring them, to life. And I thought that one of the more interesting topics that I always find myself like in these conversations was when we were talking about like like as you said, polyamory, but also like ethical non-monogamy,
yeah.
consensual ethical non-monogamy, right? So it's like nobody's cheating on each other. But also, I think where you guys took it to another step with it was like, oh well, it's all good. You can see who you want to, but I gotta vet them. There are rules to this. I gotta know who this person is and whether or not they should be. Like, no one's thinking about like how everything isn't the same for everybody. And I was like, oh, they really wrote that in there. Yeah, yeah.
Well, we were in the writers' room for season 2, and someone brought it up, one of the writers. And I thought they made it up. I was like, so we're gonna make up something on the show, guys? Like, come on now, you know? And they're like, no, this is really big right now, Dijon. And I was like, I had to go look into it, and I started questioning it. Like, I was like, wait, what is this? Is this a thing? We're doing this? Wait, is this work? You know? So as we were writing it and creating the season, we were learning as the characters were learning.
Yeah.
Misha doesn't know if she wants to do it or not.
Right.
Nicole sometimes doesn't know if it works for her or not.
Right.
But the cool part is like, hopefully, you know, our audience is primarily Black.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know it. A lot of people didn't know it. Maybe they didn't know it. So then maybe they thought for some reason they just wanted to have a hall pass. Maybe they want a little more than just that hall pass, and they'll have a conversation now.
Right, like it's like everybody's always like, well, if it's that one person, like, well, you know, if Idris came in the room, girl, then you know, then you're gonna get the pass. Like, you know, but it's like maybe people just are okay. I don't know. What do you?
The man at the Equinox, and the man at the gym, and the man at the Food for Less, and the man at
not the Food for Less. Well, there is a man at the Food for Less that is actually
exactly. Yeah, you're like, come on, just Idris, come on, get out of here,
exactly.
Get out of here.
Like, what are we gonna do? No, but look, here's my take on that too. Like, and this is a little bit random, but I'm just saying, I always have to say this, and I just needed somewhere to say it. I feel like a lot of people, I feel like if you're at a point in a relationship, or if you're the type of person that like goes through phones and like, you know, you're like, you know, why is you calling my man or why is you calling my girl, whatever the case may be. Like, if you're doing that but still staying with the individual and you're not going anywhere, there might be some space for you to think about entertaining ethical non-monogamy, because you ain't going nowhere. You're just making yourself mad and still dealing with this thing. So if it's really a violation, then don't deal with it. But if you're going to continue to deal with it, why stretch yourself out when you're in it?
I agree. I think one of my favorite quotes is, we accept the love we think we deserve. You know, so I think a lot of times people think that, like, I've been in a relationship before and all we had was sex. So the idea of them being sexual with somebody else was a game changer for me, because if we don't have that, what do we have? Vice versa, dating my best friend, I would be with you even if we weren't fucking. So at that point, it changes your viewpoint on like why I'm here. So I'm not leaving for sex. I'm not here for sex. So it kind of, again, it's not a one size fits all approach, even for the human. Like I might be okay with this here, not here. You know, it's very like fluid.
I think so. No, truly. And again, like you said, like these are concepts that maybe that we couldn't even necessarily, we didn't know how to voice or articulate. We didn't know the words. We didn't have a definition for it. But this show, like, and I love these kinds of shows because I love a show that like you kind of have like, first of all, it's a nice group watch. So when I see a show that's a great group watch, that's fun too, because I can sit down, like guys, girls, whomever the homies are, right? Like we can all sit down because there's something for everybody to discuss, right? And every character is so fleshed out very differently, but every character has a purpose. But I love a show that makes you sit here, like after the show, we got to think. We got to almost like, you know, how everybody's a podcast bro now. But I mean, like we don't got to record it. But like this is a show where like after every episode, we might have that 30 to 45 minute conversation, kind of recapping like some of the ideas and some of the things that are going on. So I love that about it. And I feel like, do you feel like this falls within the genre? I mean, I guess so, like almost like a soap opera?
No, I don't think so.
No, okay.
I don't think if that was the case, it would be an opulent soap.
Okay.
Nighttime soap. I don't think so. I think that it falls in dramedy, but I think this season more specifically, heavy drama. You know, the truth is what we try to do at least is to remove the like dun 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 part of it. It's like game changer, because again, I have a rule that I think everyone's redeemable, even though the show really does go there. Like with sex, you would think like that can't be redeemable. Says who? Because if your dad cheated on your mom after 35 years and gave her an STD and had a baby out of wedlock, she might rethink going back tomorrow. You know why? It's cheaper to keep her, and she loves it.
Right.
It's easy to conceptualize that as I would never, and it's like you don't know what she would do.
You do not know because you ain't been in that situation. Exactly, and that when your whole life gets upended like that, like you don't really know. You don't really know.
So that's where I would go more. I would go dramedy, but this season specifically, season 2, it's very dramatic.
And it seems like you guys, I would think anyway, it seems like you guys have fun. Like, I mean, there's, in all aspects of life, like some jobs are really kind of like you're just, dialing it in. It can be just a job. But I feel like everybody that's involved here, like they're having a really good time. So like, how is it that the set is so upbeat? And like, thank goodness it is, right? It could be something else. But, like, what do you think that makes it that way?
I think we do. I think that it starts top down.
Mm-hmm.
I think that also being an actor first, like that's where I came from. I understand how much weight that holds. So I think my biggest thing is, and the actors might love it, they might hate it. It is that everyone's an equal here. Rather you're the star or you're the craft service person.
Sure.
My desire for everyone to do is, because we're not making Game of Thrones or we're not making Grey's Anatomy, is to have a good time. Like, I want you to win. You should want the show to win. But also these people who are coming and serving us and like giving their talents and their skill sets and their time and here before us and here after us, they should feel blessed leaving too. They're as important to this process as anybody. So I think we're all very collaborative, and it sounds corny, but like, this isn't true on all shows. I've been on so many shows, but it does start to feel like a family atmosphere, like with the cast, maybe also because we're similar in age, and then also with the crew. I get to learn from them; they get to learn from me. I just love greatness coming together. I think that's what a director and showrunner is. It's not really about you; it's about how you put the pieces together.
You got to be a certain type of personality in person, and you do have to be a very collaborative person. So yes, you're right. I always liken it to just like what the experiences that I've had. Like, so for instance, like what you're telling me, it also applies to like if you got a job, like if you're working in retail even, or working in an office, like that particular, because an executive producer, you do offer it. It's like a leadership role, right? So you have to kind of keep everything together and make sure that everybody's okay. But that there's a tremendous amount of responsibility that comes with that. It's not just so much like do what I say, right?
And also, like, I think that some people lead with an iron fist and some people lead the trenches. I think it's easier to have someone follow you when they have a reason to. So versus it being like, oh, I'm here and you're there. It's like, no, you want me to pick up and move that?
Yeah.
You need help? Like, oh, can I hop on a call after with you so we can talk through it so you don't feel overwhelmed tomorrow? Because the truth is we're serving each other. Vision. It's how you want the set to look. Yeah, I have a vision of it, but it's not really about me. It's about how you're going to bring it to life. I'll give you notes on it, but it's like, how do I be the best coach so that you feel like you knocked it out the park?
This is great. I'm learning some really great things about you. And it's funny because I've talked to Meagan before. She's very sweet, and I've liked her. Like, I don't know her, obviously. That's your cousin,
Yeah.
but I really liked her, and she just the way she thinks. And now I'm seeing that how you all get along in that way. I'm like, oh, okay. I understand it completely.
Yeah, we're simple in a lot of ways.
But what I wanted to say to you is that and just even how you're talking about things and how you're talking about the set. You in this particular show, and it's a very popular show. But you also take some I guess what do they want to call it, like you basically take a leap, right? And like you just take some because you're hiring people here that are not necessarily known, right? You're taking chances. You're hiring people here that are not known for being actors, right? Some of these individuals are known for being on reality shows. You've even got people that are like social media influencers. People that were not necessarily known for being, okay, I acted on this thing or, on this role, or I did this, I did that. But you're taking a chance with individuals who did not have that background, that traditional, oh, I went to acting school for this long, or even if they did, no one knows them that way. What made you all take a chance on some of these individuals who are completely known in a completely, entirely different way and allow them to take on, being cast in the show in such a prominent way? Why did you do that?
They earned it. I'm gonna be honest. So who I think you were talking about is the Candies and the India Loves.
Absolutely.
And the Kindles. They all auditioned.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
All auditioned. Everyone was the best person for the role. Yeah. And I think it also. I worked with Candy on a movie where she played my mom. Kendall was in the original, pilot presentation.
Yeah.
And I wasn't aware of who she was before at all, though. So it wasn't. I didn't have as much of a viewpoint when I had her audition. So she was just embodied the character. Romeo was in the movie with me. Played my best friend. So there's like times I've got to see these people in their element, and I feel like sometimes, unfortunately, like even on social media, someone will comment on something.
Yeah.
and they'll be like, oh, that has to be trash because it's so and so. And I'd be like, you didn't even watch it.
You didn't even see. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
the truth
Yeah.
is, like, you're not judging them based on what you think they should be able to do. And the truth is, if you told me because I was an actor I couldn't direct or I couldn't executive produce, I shouldn't be able to,
right?
You have now taken a possibility of maybe me finding something I was even better at, or my actual calling was. And people feel like if they don't give themselves permission to live outside the box, to go after their dreams, to live unapologetically, I'll never give it to you. And as a person, I'm like, I'm not putting you in a box. Tammy Roman is one of the best actors I've ever worked with.
She's good. Yes.
She's so good. She comes from good. 5 pages off book, one take. Let's go. Like, she's so good, so seasoned, so like in it. She pulls the actors in the scenes up with her. She requires them to be better. And I'm like, y'all thinking about her being in Basketball Wives? Like, are you watching this?
People like working with her. Yeah, they do.
She's so good. I'm like, I think that's, again, our job is to find the best person for the role. Of course, if they bring value, that's a positive thing. But me and Meagan have had to live our lives and careers proving people wrong at every turn. So I'll always root for the underdog. I'll always take the role less traveled, because it hasn't been the easiest role for me, and that's okay, because it just makes me work harder.
And is it more difficult to be behind the camera than in front of the camera?
Not for me, actually. Okay. I don't think so. I think that it's God kind of gave me a grace for it. I think it's more pressure. Like, after like the season I was like, I just want to act on a show. Like, you just get there, you get to like go, do your lines, and then leave.
And then leave,
everyone's like calling me about the fires that are going on, and oh my God, before I get there in the morning, this is happening, so and so's not making. It comes with so much more.
I guess weight. Responsibility,
weight. Because everyone's like, this is wrong. How do we fix it? But also, like, I get to like support and create the whole world.
Yeah.
Every aspect, in front of and behind the camera. I get to, the scene didn't work the way that I think it should have, and I get to like craft it.
Yeah.
To make it the best it could be. So I don't think it's terrible. So it's like, I take that as a privilege, because it's a blessing to be able to use both those sides of my brain.
Yeah, and you seem genuinely enthusiastic about this. Like, I love it.
Yeah, I love. I mean, even a la carte, it's like kind of like, like, I know it's Bree's baby, but it's my baby too. And
right.
Like, characters, like, even when Kendall this season, like, he's been on it since the pilot presentation, kills it, and to see his growth as an actor, it's like probably makes me as proud as it makes his parents. Because I'm looking at him like, yo, boy, like, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
So proud, And I know that he's probably proud of himself, So it feels like we're all in it together, too. Yeah. I think that's cool. We're all, like, growing and learning and fucking up along the way together.
Exactly. Every step. So, I mean, with AllBlk, I mean, it seems like AllBlk has been so supportive of so many different shows and so many ideas. Like, I mean, I know, like, being on this network, it had to have been a relief to know that they would give you guys the creative flexibility to be who you wanted to be. Because this show, it goes above and beyond a lot of shows.
Yeah, I think that they're definitely very involved.
Oh, like, they are.
Okay. They're very involved. They don't like stifle.
Okay.
I've always worked very collaboratively with them, but I'm just a collaborative guy.
Okay.
But they're not as hands off. But as far as like Dijon, after we approved it, go make the show you want to make, then yeah. But I feel like I would say this is like the best film school in the world.
Oh yeah, you're in it.
To give you a show and be like, go try, fail forward. I think even watching season 1 to season 2 as filmmakers, we grew exponentially, just even visually. Even the quality of the show, the storytelling, the character depth. And I would be remiss to say that everyone would have given me that chance and that opportunity and championed us in that way. They wouldn't have, especially as young Black, little boys and girls just wanting to make a show. So I think people always ask me how does it work with them. I say it's incredible. Like, you could have someone, fund your idea. Go for it.
Exactly. I mean, listen, I'm gonna come up with ideas all day. If somebody gonna give me But like, so moving forward and like beyond even just talking about like a la carte, do you think that your next, because you never stop doing the thing, right? So like, of course you can still act, obviously you can still sing, you can still dance, all of these things. is your next big opportunity going to stay within executive production, or are you still working on music and all these other things that you are also talented in? What's going on with you?
So me and my family have a show that will probably be the most recent next thing. But I think that my focus is on creation and production. I think the Talton Company is like my biggest focus right now. So directing, executive producing, creating. I think that of course I'll make some vehicles for myself. If I really love something as an actor, I'll go after it. Sure. But I like having a seat at the table.
That's
like
nice, yeah.
Being able to say something, and I don't know as much of my goal is like, again, I even love like not getting dressed to go to work. Like
you're right.
I'm like, do you ever see photos of me? I have like a hat on, sweat.
So you ain't gotta have to go to the wardrobe.
Yeah, I'm so comfortable. I come in, they're all going through hair and makeup. I'm like, morning.
Lovely. I love it. It's almost like voice actors. Like that's an envious position too. They can
you do that from home.
I love it. Okay, so are you still singing though? I want to know more. I love when I hear about singers.
No, I haven't sang in a minute.
Why? Why are you doing that?
That's the most like job-ish to me. Like,
okay.
Doing music, it felt like being in high school. It's like a job. Like that's like a job. Like you gotta like be in that. Like it's its own like little world. With acting, you do a job. Like you literally do a job. Like it's 9 to 9. You go home. You know what you're gonna make. And then you move on to the next job. With filmmaking, it's not as much that. Like right now, I'm doing this, and the show is out, and we're done filming it. But the moment it starts back, I'm writing it, and I'm working on 5 other projects. Just never stops because you're always in it. So the music specifically is the one where I'm like, if you don't want to do it, you don't.
You got to be all in with it, or
because it takes a lot.
That's true.
It also is like I like being like able to like be chill and like I work and I feel like my life and career is blessed, but I don't want to like be on people's face like that all the time.
You don't want no more album covers and single covers, damn. Okay, what about
social media no more? To be honest, if it's not about my show or like something else, I just changed. Like in getting older, like I don't even be like I'm like no, don't look at me. It's okay. You don't have to look at me.
You're not gonna come. Okay, well, will you come with me to karaoke?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Just making sure. No, what's next for you though?
More shows, more movies. Like I said, my family show. Just making some like playing in different sandboxes with different creatives. That's what I'm excited about. A lot of things in development. Praise God that a la carte. Back to that world eventually, probably. So just stretching myself as a filmmaker and as a human, to be honest.
I just like I said, I love your enthusiasm. Like you just seem like a genuinely happy person. Like things are moving in a good direction, and just I can see it. It's just oozing off of you, right?
God is good. I can't.
Right? It's like, God is good. But before we go, I do. You brought up the Talton Company, and I know that you talked about the project that you're working on with the Talton Company. Is this something that like people can propose, like how Bree sort of pitched something to you? Like what happens here? Like what does it all encompass?
Yeah, so we definitely are developing and like acquiring film and TV projects. I just want to work with great creatives. Again, like Bree being an amazing writer and publicist. I think that's what I like and gravitate towards.
Yeah,
is people of color usually, but they don't have to be, that are just excellent in their field, excellent in their perspective. That doesn't mean you have to be great at the thing you want to do.
Okay.
We all had to start somewhere. But having something to say, I think especially now, like this being like Bree's like semi-autobiographical story, it was something that she wanted to say. And I have to be able to feel like I can like assist in bringing that to life and like champion you. Also, being collaborative and just, wanting to put something different into the earth than what we've already seen. I think there's a space for everything. There's a space for Tyler. There's a space for 50. There's a space for, I can just keep going, for Lena, for Ava, everyone. So the filmmakers that I work with, I want there to be a space for them. Like, what do you have to say? What's specific about your world? What was like today when you was in a hospital and you were talking to the older person and you were making them laugh? What was the undertone of that scene? Where are they at in that? What's the underlying story that they want to leave behind? Like, how can we go back and see that? So just being specific in our art.
I like you, Dijon. Listen, I do. I really like you. I'm like, I believe this person could actually be my friend. So as
Yeah.
you say, an individual is like a friend in your head. I like
Yeah.
you. And I have this idea. I really do. I'm gonna pull a Brie on you.
Yeah.
And look, I'm a CC Brie on it too. I have this idea that I've been fleshing out, but I was like, I don't know who I want to talk to about this, because I don't feel like wasting time or conversation, and I think it's good. So I might have to, the Talton Company is gonna, hear some words from me.
We'll send it our way. For sure.
I'll definitely do that. It was so lovely talking to you. I think you're a very nice person. You actually just made my day. And what you guys don't know is that I had to shift. I asked him to shift some things around out of his day. First of all, you see that background. We got to talk about how that's actually his house. Okay. This man do not need to be on the call with me, right?
Get out of here.
Listen. No, but I appreciate you taking the time, and like as you said, and I can just totally see it just from your demeanor and everything you've said, that you are not the type of person that dismisses individuals, right? So I thank you for being you, and for just giving me renewed perspective on who you are and what you do, and also just educating us about the different roles that one can have that don't necessarily involve being in front of the camera. It's nice to see somebody that's just so centered and happy in their moment.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you having me on. You've been lovely. So.
Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Koku with blackfilm.com, and I have been here with Dijon Talton, executive producer of the popular AllBlk television series a la carte. It's really funny, guys. You're going to love it. It is fun for all of your friends. Like I said, I consider it a group watch. It's something that's fun to watch and then talk about afterwards, and we can argue, we can fuss, and we can fight afterwards, or we can laugh, whatever it is. But it does give you some intense emotions in every episode. Like it's great. And it cracks you up. I love it. Okay. Yes. So it's every Thursday, right?
Every Thursday. Well, this is today was released episode 209. Next week is the season finale.
Season finale. Okay.
Season 2, 10 episodes. Season 1 is 6. You can watch it on AllBlk, also on Prime Video, anywhere the apps are downloadable. Yeah. So
look at the Light Flex also on anywhere Prime Video.
AllBlk, and you gotta get that app.
Get the app, y'all.
You get a free week, so you can get the whole.
Good.
In that free week.
No, this is very important. That's good to know. I thank you so much. It was so nice to talk to you. You're gonna see my email and be like, "Hello." No.
I'm serious. I'll be looking for it.
All caps. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dijon. Take care. All right.
You too.
Thank you. If you want to see more content like this on blackfilm.com, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell.